Welcome to the place where you, the atheist, can interact with me, the Christian, who has zero interest in debating and trying to prove you wrong and you trying to prove me wrong, prove that you're ignorant, I'm ignorant, you're immoral, I'm immoral, you're wrong, I'm boring. We're better than that. What we focus on, what can we agree on? And this topic, I'm so proud to make this video so that we can talk about this. This is what these videos are all about. So I want to start by saying, I recently watched a video from Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan Experience. Do you guys watch that? One of my favorite YouTubers have you ever thought of, what channels do YouTubers watch? Well, actually, I love watching Joe Rogan. I've been watching him ever since Fear Factor in 2000. But I love his videos. I love his podcast, Joe Rogan Experience. He made a video a few weeks ago talking about how he's at a point in his life where he just doesn't see the point in focusing on things he doesn't care about. Now, I think he's about a decade older than me. I think he's closer to 50, whereas I'm closer to 40. But I feel the same way. I think around age 35, I stopped caring about as far as letting people emotionally affect me. You know, it's 100% of the time, it's up to you to be offended, insulted, that someone hurt your feelings. That's always your choice. It's also always your choice to forgive another person, always. And by 35, I, by default, had enough life experience to where I had the epiphany. But I think by default, another one of those epiphanies that I had by age 35 is that it's a waste of time to focus on things that you don't like. So that's what I want. In this video, I want to see if we can agree on. Because again, the whole premise, me the Christian, you the atheist, what can we agree on? What can make us better human beings, you the atheist and me the Christian, by focusing on things we can agree on. So here's what I'm pitching to you is, I say it's always a waste of time, energy. It's a waste of your life experience. Life is short, and this is wasting it when you focus on things you don't like. Focus on things you do like. Focus on that. That makes life more enjoyable. But I think there's something psychologically trapping when you get caught up in things that you don't like. And I feel by all means social media buys into that. That's a lot of the premise of it. Even outrage culture, you know, even outrage marketing. I watched a video, Screen Rant, another one of my favorites. He pitched out a theory that the whole thing with Sonic the Hedgehog, that they purposely never intended for him to look like that he did in the original trailer. They did that to generate controversy, and then they become the heroes when they change it and give everybody the version of Sonic that they did want, because ultimately now people will suddenly care about the movie, whereas before they might not have. Now, granted, that's just a theory, but I totally see it being true, because I feel society is so easily triggered. So going back to the concept of what if you're not triggered though? What if you have things that you don't agree with or you dislike these things, but you don't talk about them, you don't engage people in them, you just don't spend time, energy, money on all of that stuff that you don't like. Instead, you just focus on what you do like, assuming that what you do like makes you happy, makes other people happy to be talking and engaging about it. But I say, it's just not a good decision. It's not worth your time as a human being to be so caught up in what you don't like. And I say that surely we can agree on that, right? We can agree that it's not a good thing to focus on what you dislike. And I think that's why there's the cliche about atheists and Christians not getting along and always arguing and debating, because in this tribal sense, I gotta find my tribe. Okay, which one am I? Am I an atheist or a Christian? Okay, here's my tribe. Now I'm gonna prove that the other side is wrong, immoral, and ignorant, and I dislike what they stand for. I dislike them as people. Like, ultimately in the back of their mind, that's what happens. Whatever side you're arbitrarily on in this example, I dislike what they stand for. I dislike them as a person. They're the enemy. And so now I'm gonna spend a lot of time, energy, and a lot of my thoughts will go to how much I don't like that. See, I think that's very childish. I think it's very immature. What I say, and I've noticed here, there's about five of you atheists that watch my videos. We're on the same wavelength. Granted, you're the atheist, I'm the Christian, but you get it. You also agreed with me when I said that it's always the wrong decision to look down on another person for any reason. It automatically makes you less of a human being to look down on anyone for any reason. And our culture can't accept that. Our culture says, well, if I morally disagree with you or fundamentally disagree with you, then I have the privilege, I have the right to look down on you. And I say no. I say, with my moral code as a Christian, yes, there are all kinds of things that other people do that I morally disagree with. And those tend to be the things that I personally don't struggle with. Does it mean that I have any right to look down on them? Of course not. Because just as easily they could look down on me for all of the shortcomings that I have. I am not interested in being a judge to decide that I am better. Because if I think I'm better, I think that they're worse. So the most intelligent of you, there's a 5 solid of you that agreed with me, looking down on another person for their beliefs or lack of beliefs or any reason is always a poor human decision to make. So I would almost bet money that the same 5 of you and others that agreed with me on that would also agree that it is always a bad decision in the same way to, like I was talking about with this video, to focus on the things that you don't like, especially with people, to reduce a human being to, oh, you're a Christian and I'm an atheist or vice versa. Well, automatically you're the perceived enemy. I will close with this thought and I'll let you leave your comment. You've probably never heard of this. There's something called the Babylon Bee. It's a website ran by Christians that is satire. It's satire against everything. It's satire mainly against Christian culture. It's Christians making fun of Christian culture, subculture. That's mainly what it is. But they often just make fun of culture in general. All the little things that people get upset with and all that stuff, they make fun of that to say, hey, this is all silly. That's the whole point of this satire website. So the Babylon Bee, you can go there right after this and check out the Babylon Bee. Some stuff you'll hate, some stuff you'll actually like because probably it'll make fun of Christian culture or whatever. Then they also just make fun of extremists, extreme right, extreme left. So it's funny. It's all satire. The Babylon Bee. So on Instagram, they had a thing that popped up a couple days ago. Okay? Now here's the test. Will you be offended by this? Don't be, because this is the whole point. And this can just as easily, in some ways or in converse ways, relate to Christians. This was the headline for this fake news. It said, more atheists holding regular weekly meetings to discuss how dumb organized religion is. Come on, you can laugh at that. That's funny. I mean, that's something I'm very mindful of. I begin each video by acknowledging that you're here to converse with me. Basically, even though atheism is not an organized group, by default, you organize in front of me and are conversing with me, though I'm not interested in debating or converting you. So, yes, I'm not interested in converting you because I don't believe that that's what you're here for. If you were wanting that, you would converse with me otherwise. But people who watch my videos are not wanting to learn about Christianity. They're ultimately, I think, it's one of those things like these old mom and pop things. Come for the baked beans, stay for the taters, or whatever it is. And I think a lot of atheists do come here for that fight, for that debate. I'm going to own this Christian. I'm going to show what an idiot they are. And then when they get real, they start watching my videos. Oh, he's not going to fight me. He's not going to debate me. Oh, okay, well, then this isn't for me because I wanted someone who's going to engage me in that way. But again, when we're on this plane of emotional intelligence, it's a matter of saying, I refuse to look down on anyone for any reason, and I refuse to focus on what I don't like. And that goes in line with my whole mentality of these videos. I refuse to debate you. Instead, I'm focused on what we can agree on. And like I said at the beginning of this video, full circle, imagine if atheists and Christians both adopted this concept. I refuse to look down on anyone for any reason, and I refuse to spend my time talking and thinking about things that I don't like. How about I focus on the things I do like? How about I focus on finding things that I have in common with people who do or do not see the world the same as me? And especially, what if I focus on, by default, therefore, not debating with people, trying to prove people wrong, because simple psychology teaches me and life experience teaches me, if you're trying to prove someone wrong, you immediately lose because typically you can't gain someone's respect by proving them wrong. That's not how it actually works. And I think that's the mentality of people with high conflict personality who want to debate all the time. They're wanting to gain respect by proving people wrong. The real world doesn't actually work that way. It's a matter of you build relationships with people, and then maybe they'll be open to what you have to say. And just like with, I am a salesman. I'm a recruiter. That's what I do for a living. I'm really good at what I do. I mean, the numbers came out yesterday at work. Like, I'm at the top of my team of 40, like consistently. Is it just that I'm good? Well, it's that I know how to talk to people and work with people. And it's a matter of, if you want to convince someone of something, you've ultimately got to be their friend first in some way. You've got to be able to start a conversation not about the thing that you're actually talking about, and just say, hey, I'm a human like you. Oh, you have kids? Oh, that's a nice truck you've got there. Whatever the conversation is, you start there because a good salesman is not going to be someone who's high pressure or high conflict. Now, granted, here I'm talking about salesmen, and we're talking about you being atheist and being a Christian. What I'm saying is, for us to be better human beings in general, it's about less conflict, and it's more about collaboration. And it's still, at the end of the day, you have to be okay with that person not agreeing with you, because ultimately, it may show you that you still are in that trap of, I look down on these people because they're not like me. I say get rid of that. I say get rid of focusing on what you dislike. I say get rid of debating. And you can still be an atheist and I can still be a Christian, but we can be better human beings. Now, who of you agree? Go ahead and put some skin in the game. Go ahead and leave a comment so I can see who you are, because right now on mine, there's only about 5 of you that actually are on the same wavelength, that will agree with me on those things I just said. That it's always a bad decision and a poor human experience to look down on anyone for any reason, and it's always bad to focus so much and think about what you disagree and to debate people, but instead collaborate and communicate and have good relationships with people, like actual relationships with people, not just diss people on the internet or try to. I know there's got to be 5 of you. Will you let me know who you are? If there's any more than 5 of you, please leave a comment and let me know. I'd like to know who else out of my viewers, because anytime I do an atheist video, I get between 100 and 200 views. So I have a 5 solid that are emotionally intelligent enough to pick up what I'm throwing down. Do I have more than 5? That's what I'm asking. Do I have more than 5 of you who are on the same level of emotional intelligence and can agree with these things that I've talked about in this video? Your comment belongs right here.